Hello, my dear students. Welcome back to our flipped learning session. Today, we are going to continue our session on glossary of media terms. Today, our first terminology is offset. What is offset? It's a printing method in which the plate transfers the image to be printed onto an intermediate surface called a blanket. So here, first image printed into an intermediate surface that is called a blanket, which later comes in direct contact with the paper. So offset is not a direct printing. First it printed onto an intermediate surface that is called a blanket, and then it comes in direct contact with the paper. That is offset. So offset is a printing method. Our next term is opposite. It also known as opposite editorial. A page opposite the editorial page where opinion by guest writers are presented. So every newspapers have their own editorial writers, and sometimes guest writers also appears. They sometimes express their own opinion against the editorial pages that appears regularly. So op-ed is a guest writer's editorial page, that is opposite editorial page. That is the second terminology in this session. And tabloid. Tabloid is the third terminology. Taking the standard size of newspaper and folding into half, usually stitched or stapled and trimmed. So tabloid is a standard size of newspaper. It's a small size of newspapers. You can see small newspapers available in the market. That is known as tabloid. So this is a kind of newspapers that is around we can fold the regular newspapers into half and we can staple or stitch. So that size of newspapers called tabloid. Then stinger. Stinger is a simple terminology. Stinger is a part-time reporter or correspondent. That is known as stinger. A part-time reporter is called stinger in media terms. Then our final term in this presentation is dummy. Dummy is a diagram or layout of a newspaper page that showing the placement of stories, headlines, pictures and advertisements. Actually, it's a diagram or layout of newspaper page. They create a dummy newspaper for print, and after printing it's known as newspaper. Before it is known as that's a layout. They create the media personalities. They create a layout, a duplicate of a newspaper. That is known as dummy. So these are the terms that we discussed in the flipped learning session. We will continue the session. Thank you.